Hello friends, welcome to Mahipaladi GK House. Myself Pradeep Reddy. Today we are going to discuss important current affairs. Coming to the first and foremost current affair, that is May 21st is celebrated as International Tea Day. Okay, so the first International Tea Day was observed in the year 2020, and it was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly on December 2019, and it is also observed under the auspices of Food and Agriculture Organization, which is a wing of the United Nations organization. Okay, and this particular May 21st is also having another significance, where this May 21st is celebrated as International Culture for Dialogue and Development. International Culture for Dialogue and Development. It has been celebrated since the year 2003. Actually, in the year 2002, United Nations organization adopted a resolution to celebrate May 21st as an International Culture Day. Okay. Coming to the next important thing, Sunita Dwivedi has written a book. She's an author. The name of the book was Buddha in Gandhara. She's a traveler, she's a writer, okay, and she tries to trace out the history like a historian. So this book is about the story of the ancient Buddhist cities, and this book is very creative, where it recreates Buddha's journeys from Lahore to the Samangan. Okay, so ancient roots were traced out by this particular book. Okay, so it is both a traveler book as well as the historical book. And next important book is Spiritual CEO. It was written by president of Heartfulness Institute. His name is S. Prakash. So what does this book explain about? It explains two important points. One is how to build a better business. This is the first thing. And second thing, how to live a better life through the practice of corporate karma. I did not write any spelling mistake. So it is an exact phrase he has described about. That is corporate karma. Okay, so he mixes the business as well as spirituality. So this is the beauty of this book. And next important aspect is China becomes the first country to ban the synthetic cannabinoids. Actually, cannabinoids are nothing but psychoactive compounds. These are nothing but drugs. So these are generally found in the cannabis plant. But synthetic cannabinoids are also being prepared. These are man-made chemicals, and these are the designer drugs. So actually, these are being misused by the young as well as the drug peddlers. So for that reason, China had banned this particular synthetic cannabinoids. What is the objective behind this particular ban? To curb the manufacturing trafficking of the drug. So this is what the objective behind the banning. And next important thing is India and Oman, these two countries review the memorandum of understandings. So what were the memorandum of understanding signed between India and Oman? These were signed in the year 2018 whenever Modi visited Oman country, regarding two important things. One is about military cooperation and second is about the maritime issues. Those were signed during the visit of Prime Minister Modi, as I told you. These allowed the use of the strategically located Duqm port of the Oman for the maintenance of the Indian military vessels. Basically, for the sake of maintaining the Indian defense equipment and establishments, this particular port is being used, Duqm port. So very important port. So question may come, Duqm port belongs to which of the following country? In that way, a direct question may come in the examination. Next one, Ministry of Social Justice actually started a helpline number. Okay, that is 14567. What is this helpline number? What is this call center about? It is for the elderly people. So elderly people are also suffering from the COVID related problems. To redress their problems, so this particular helpline got started. It was already started in most of the states like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Telangana. Now it is going to be expanded throughout India. Okay, and it is being implemented by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and the minister is Tarawachand Gehlot, and the Minister of State is Krishnan Pal Gujjar. Okay, this much information is required. And there is a institution called CSE, that is Center for Sustainable Employment, which is a center of Ajim Premji University. It is a private and deemed university. It has published a report called State of Working India in the 2021, 1 year of COVID-19. So it tries to explain what is the impact of the COVID in the labor market. It says around 100 million jobs were lost in India-wide because of the lockdown, and around 230 million fell below the threshold of national minimum wage of 375 rupees. So Indian minimum wages are 375 rupees per day. So most of the people's wages fell below this particular wage threshold. Okay, so it can explain how India was impacted by the COVID-19 in the economic terms. Okay, in the labor market wise. And the head of this particular CSE is Amit Bhasale. Next one, innovation challenge was thrown by my government organization as well as the Department of Higher Education, MyGov as well as Department of Higher Education. What is this challenge about? They have thrown a challenge for the individuals, for the companies, for the startups to develop an app for the Indian language learning, because India is very much a linguistically rich country. So naturally, in order to learn any other language, there must be a better and simple way. So using the technology, you can easily facilitate the learning process. So that's the reason why the government of India challenged this particular app. Okay, so what is the aim? To create an app that will promote regional language literacy and thus creating the cultural understanding of the country. Okay, this is the aim behind this particular innovation challenge. It is open to individuals, companies and startups. Anyone can come up with their own idea of developing an app, and the top 3 companies will receive the funding of 20 lakh, 10 lakh and 5 lakh. Okay, so this is the monetary incentive if one comes forward with the viable idea of developing a particular app. Next one, very important thing for the youth population, long working hours increases the death. It is a study by the World Health Organization and International Labour Organization. They say that the long working hours are placing more people at the risk of the work-related disability and early death due to the stroke and ischemic heart diseases. So it means the non-communicable diseases are increasing in the young population because of the extreme working hours. For example, it says per week, if the working hours are exceeding 55 hours, definitely people are prone to develop the non-communicable diseases, especially related to the heart. Okay, the director of the WHO is Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, and ILO is headed by Guy Ryder. Okay, both are the director generals, and both are headquartered in Geneva of Switzerland. This is what very interesting. Okay, both WHO and ILO are headquartered in Geneva of Switzerland. And next important thing is Templeton Prize of 2021. Okay, who won this prize? Jane Goodall. Who is she? She is a renowned conversationalist, renowned conservationalist. So conservationalist means she is an environmentalist. Okay, and she's also an anthropologist. She had made many efforts on chimpanzees, and she has advocated for global environmental causes. So she was complete devotee of the environmental cause. So for that reason, this particular Templeton Prize was awarded to her. She was the first to observe the human-like behaviors among the chimpanzees. This is what the notable discovery on her part. So coming to the Templeton Prize, it was established in the year 1972 by the late philanthropist Sir John Templeton. It is one of the world's largest individual awards, currently values in the Indian currency, it is 11.30 crore. It is not a simple amount. Okay, so the notable winners, past winners include Mother Teresa and Dalai Lama. So these are very much renowned persons who actually got this particular award. And next one, Pinarayi Vijayan becomes Kerala CM for the second time. He sworn as CM of Kerala from the CPI-led LDF. Okay, so this is the front which had come into the power. And points to be noted include, first one, he is the first CM of Kerala to get second consecutive term. So no CM in Kerala got this particular second consecutive term, very much immediate term. So it is Pinarayi Vijayan who got that particular credit. And Governor of Kerala is Arif Ahmad Khan. And according to 164 of the Indian Constitution, the Chief Minister is appointed. Okay, and both Chief Minister as well as the ministers are appointed. And next one, Cyclone Taukte. So Cyclone Taukte, as you know, it is an Arabian cyclone, and it made a landfall in Saurashtra region of Gujarat. It brought severe rains and winds up to 150 to 160 kilometers per hour. So it had created immense damage in the states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Kerala, and the Union Territory, that is the UN Daman. Okay, so most of the western part of the states are most impacted states, and the name Taukte had been given by the Myanmar. It means gecko. Okay, gecko means lizard. So the vocal lizard in the Burmese dialect. Okay, and the IMD functions under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, and the Director General is Mrityunjay Mahapatra. Okay, thank you, friends. Thank you so much for your patient listening, and I will be coming up with very interesting facts for tomorrow's video. Thank you so much.